Welcome to the Mindset Mechanics Podcast with Juan and Ladybug Jenkins. It's not too late to find, face, and fix what's stalling you. The shop is open, so pull on in.
Welcome to Mechanical Monday. You are in the shop. I am Ladybug Jenkins, your mindset mechanic, here to remind you that it is not too late to find, face, and fix what is stalling you. And when you do that, acceleration is inevitable. So, on today's episode titled Out of Service, we are going to have a little chat about everyone's favorite subject, and that is discipline. Yes, we are going to talk about the problematic, undisciplined life. And I will, of course, give you a definition. As always, discipline is defined as training someone. In this context, while we are talking about adults, it would be yourself. So training yourself to obey rules or a code of behavior. Yes. So in real life, we are going to talk about what that looks like. And yes, I am going to use myself as an example because unfortunately, that is one of my greatest challenges personally. If I'm being honest, every major obstacle in my life can be traced back to a lack of discipline. And, in service, during the message, the pastor said, "You do not have to be perfect. We do not have to be perfect, but we do have to be disciplined." And that really resonated with me. So let's take weight as an example. While I understand we live in a culture where everyone's a victim, everything is a disease, nothing is anyone's fault, therefore nothing is anyone's responsibility, we have an explosion of morbid obesity in our society. And that is adults and unfortunately children as well. They even had to change the way that they spoke about diabetes. It used to be childhood diabetes and adult onset diabetes, and now you hear type 1 and type 2. You no longer call it adult onset diabetes because you have 10, 11, 12-year-olds who are full-blown diabetics, although they were not born that way. And it is a result of a lack of exercise. If you're familiar with the school system, PE has been canceled. All of these things, there's no more physical fitness. On any given Saturday morning, if you step outside, you will not see children on bikes, skipping rope, playing hopscotch, the whole nine. They are inside. They are on devices. They are staring at screens. They are playing video games. And that is coupled with an abundance of fast food, of junk food, of convenience foods. Home cooked meals, while they still exist, of course, are not the norm. And so you have entire families that are obese. You see them out, and the adults are 300-400 pounds, right on down to the children. They are the weight of adults, and this is taking a toll on their bodies at a young age. And you have children that have to check their blood sugar and take insulin and pills, not because they were born with a pancreas that didn't function properly, but because their body has been burnt out on excessive sweets and a sedentary life. We have sedentary jobs. People sit at desks. They are no longer out building things, repairing things, working with their hands and their body, walking places. Everyone is in an air-conditioned vehicle. So all of these things are taking a toll. And so if you look around, you see obese adults, you see obese children, and as a result of that, you see high blood pressure, you see diabetes, you see high cholesterol, which results in kidney damage. All of these things just ravaging the bodies of people at young ages. Younger and younger people are having complex sets of illnesses, and their lives are being cut short. And so when you talk about discipline, obeying a set of rules or a code of behaviors, if you take something as simple as exercise and drinking water, we haven't even gotten to the actual meals. If you were to take a 30-minute walk 3 to 4 times a week and drink an adequate amount of water for your height and weight every day. That would go a long way, but it is something that has to be done consistently. And in our society, we have gotten into a place where everybody just wants to take a pill. They want to take a shot. There's this whole thing about a drug that was originally intended for people with diabetes, and people found that if they were not diabetic and they took it, they would have rapid weight loss. Well, the downside is that you can only take it for a short time. The weight will come back. And now there are all of these reports of extreme health problems coming as a result of these shots. So, what is the takeaway from that? The issue with that is that you can't look for a shortcut. Discipline is not a shortcut thing. Discipline is not a one-time thing. Discipline is not the first month of the year. You can't get a treadmill at the gym, but by the middle of February, it looked just like it did, at the end of the previous year. Discipline is about daily habits. Your life will rise to the level of your discipline. The more disciplined you are, the more productive your life will be. And when we talk about being out of service, I think back to riding the bus when I was younger in South Florida, and how you would stand out there in the hot sun and you would peek out and you would look for the bus, and you're waiting, just wanting the swish of those doors so that you could step into the air conditioning and sit down and get to your destination. And then every so often a bus would come and you would be so excited and you would step out and look out and it would say out of service. And you would blow out your breath and your shoulders would drop and you would be so very disappointed, because it meant you had to wait that much longer. You had to stand that much longer. Your feet and your back had to hurt that much longer. The sun had to beat down on you, or the rain, that much longer, because something was wrong with this vehicle that was supposed to take you where you needed to go. And how many of us are out of service because of a lack of discipline? Because we don't eat right like we should. We don't exercise like we should. We don't pray like we should. We don't consider the people around us like we should. We don't condition ourselves. We do not discipline ourselves to be good servants to one another. Before we've even left the house, our spouses, our children, our actual physical home, how many of us have dirty dishes and things on the floor that need to be vacuumed up right now? And we procrastinate. We say we'll get to it. We meant to do this activity with our spouse. We meant to pay attention to them. We meant to have a conversation with them. We meant to check on our children. We meant to spend quality time with them. We can be disciplined or undisciplined in any area of our lives. How many of us have finances that are jacked up, credit scores that are in the tank because of a lack of discipline? And we can attribute it to all of these other things, but at the end of the day, we are undisciplined. We do not have a code of behaviors. We do not have a set of rules for our life that we commit to and abide by. We're consistent for a week and then we fall off. We did really good last year with our finances, but this year we're back out in the stores with credit cards. We're using payment plans for vacations and sneakers. Some people buy their groceries on installments because they are so far behind and they do not have the money that they need. Discipline is key. We do not have to be perfect, but we do have to be disciplined. How many times have our children walked into a room and looked at us and saw out of service on us because we're so distracted on our phones, because our diets are garbage and we're exhausted, and they can tell just by looking at us that we're no good for whatever it is that they're needing? We are out of service for our spouses, for our family members, even on our jobs. Some of us are just pulling up to the curb at work and we're there, but that is about it. We are out of service. We are not moving in excellence. We are not progressing. We are not growing. And you will get to the end of the line and you have been out of service for the majority of your life and you realize it far too late. Discipline is key. It is necessary. to an abundant life, to a fulfilled life, to a good journey, we must be disciplined. If you think about anyone who is the best in their field, they are a highly disciplined person. I don't care if they're a surgeon or a nail tech, a hairdresser, a nurse, a lawyer, a motivational speaker, a podcaster. The people who are most successful are the most disciplined. Think about any sport, because that's something most people are familiar with. Think about the person at the top of their game and then do a quick search to see what their level of discipline is like. You could type in quotes by fill in the blank regarding discipline or regarding their exercise routine, your best musicians. I believe it was Carlos Santana. He said, I practice every day. If he misses one day of practice, he can tell. And I think he said if he misses 2 days of practice, his fans can tell. And a lot of people would think someone on that level would just be resting there. But the people who are great, the people who are the most productive, the people who are crushing it, they are highly disciplined. And the higher their level of discipline, the more they accomplish. And so that is what I wanted to share. And that in my rear view mirror, that is the takeaway. The more you want to succeed, the more you want to move in excellence, the more disciplined you have to be. It is not negotiable. It is key. It is necessary. And in Hebrews 12:11, it says, for the moment, all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. So if you observe discipline in your life and you train yourself, it is going to bring you peace. It's going to bring you uprightness. It will bring you excellence. It will give you the life that you desire. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And that is what I wanted to share with you. And I trust you allow it to help. This is one of these things that you have to choose. You have to make your choices. You have to decide. And then you have to stick. You have to commit. And you have to execute. So I will say this week that I trust you allowed it to help. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, it is never too late to find, face, and fix what is stalling you so that you can accelerate into the life of your dreams. Amen.
Thanks for stopping by the shop. Tune in next Mechanical Monday so you can get the tools to find, face, and fix your mindset and accelerate your life.